Well, I'm back at Melbourne Airport. Less than 8 hours since I've been here. And you know what? A little bit limited sleep. I'm actually feeling quite good. I've got my coffee to start the day off. Just had something to eat. Today we are off to Sydney. We are off to Sydney to go do some shooting. A little bit more casual today. So we're coming to Sydney a little bit earlier than I was in Adelaide yesterday. A little bit more time in the morning. Got a shoot just around Chinatown first thing this morning, so that should be quite nice. I'll stop in for a coffee somewhere. Then after that, I've been making my way down to Circular Quay. I've got a traditional, and I'm going to butcher this, an andor, a Vietnamese outfit shoot. It's been a long time since I've done this style of shoot. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. But you know, when the opportunity comes up, you can't say no to it. So I'll be shooting that around Circular Quay and the Botanical Gardens. I'm going to probably put the my Helios lens on my Nikon. I haven't done that for a little while yet, so we'll see some of the results and hopefully get some nice sort of soft bokeh around some of that. I'll shoot some film as well. Still undecided. Obviously shoot with the GFX2, seeing that I shot with it yesterday. And I was looking briefly at the results when I was flying out of Adelaide yesterday with a laptop, and quite impressed with that lens, so it's quite good. But anyway, we're in part two of a two-part series. I'm not as tired as I thought I would be. Quite excited for Sydney. I know my way around Sydney a little bit more better than Adelaide. It's like going home in a way. And yeah, so I'm going to enjoy my coffee. It is just past 5 this morning and not far from boarding. Let's go. Let's shoot with a 21-year-old Digicam on this flight. We'll shoot some videos and some photos to reminisce over those old Digicam feels. So I've finally made it to Sydney again, and I have brought the overcast weather from Melbourne. But, you know, such is life. It is like a big, giant softbox, which can help on some photos. So I'm just having a quick coffee before I kick off today. It's a little bit more about what I'll be shooting. So my first shoot around here, around Sydney CBD in Chinatown, I'm going to be shooting with Mr. Negative's Bat Country. So if you haven't shot with this before, get on it. It is pretty cool packaging as well, as you can see through there. It is a tungsten balanced film. You know, I think it'll be okay in this overcast condition. A little bit more light would be good, but you know, I think we can still work with it. Around some of the areas we'll be shooting, there'll be a lot of reds, a lot of greens, some browns, and maybe some blues. I walked through a few locations scouting on my way here to get a coffee. So, you know, I think this will work well. So we'll see the results. Could be good, could be bad, but you know, that's film photography. So I'll shoot that on the Nikon F5. And then this afternoon, as I said, I'll be doing a more traditional photo shoot. So I haven't done one like this for quite some time. You know, going back in the days when I was shooting quite a bit, I used to do some lookbooks and basic, you know, e-commerce photos for traditional outfits and whatnot. So yeah, it'd be good to be doing that again. Going to be a little bit more creative for this one. So as I said, I'll be shooting with the Helios 44M. A little bit of a background story. When I first got into photography, it was 15, and I got a Zenit EM at Christmas time as a Christmas gift, because I was buying disposable cameras like it was going out of fashion, and they were a lot cheaper back then. Yeah, I got that. So, you know, shooting with these lenses, the Helios, shooting with the Zenit, you know, quite familiar with. You know, those Soviet cameras have got some quirks to them, but once you work them out, you can get some good shots. So I'll be shooting with this lens I've got from that camera. I will be shooting digital, and I'll put some photos up here, so hopefully we get some of that really nice bokeh that can come with these lenses. I'll be mounting it to my Nikon Z7 and shooting it with that. So you'll see some of the results from that as well. As well as that, I will be shooting with the GFX 50 Mark II as well. So I was reflecting on some of the photos I took yesterday with Cindy, looking back. You know, that lens, it nailed it all right. Sure did. There was some nice shots through there, so definitely one I was happy with. But I'll also be doing some film photos as well this afternoon, part of that traditional shoot, and I'm going to drop a roll of Mr. Negative, same, but different. And, you know, I'll be shooting around Sydney as well, a few casual shots on the Digicam, a few casual shots on the Fuji X100-6, you know, just enjoying Sydney. So, yeah, I'm a lot more familiar with Sydney than Adelaide. I know it quite well. Spent a bit of time here when I was younger. I don't need a map to get around. I do like the food and the culture here. Definitely my jam, as they say. But, you know, yeah, it's like coming back home. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy my coffee before I get shooting, and we'll get into it after that. Let's go. All right, well, that's a wrap for that shoot. So I've got no idea how the photos look, but it felt like the photo shoot went well. It was good vibe, good style, something a bit different. I think suited really well for the streets of Sydney. Now, time is of the essence, and I'm off to Circular Quay to get ready for the next shoot. We'll need a little bit more prep work, especially getting the Nikon out. Let's go. Well, have you ever heard of the microwave? You know, the things you warm your food up in? I tell you, this bag weighs the same as that. 15 kilos my back, or 14.9, but we'll round it up. It's a great bag, but geez, it's 2 days of traveling with it. It's starting to go to its limits. But it is what it is. I'm sure I will manage. So just down at Sydney Harbour Bridge. What a spectacular spot, hey? Very Australian. We've got about 30 minutes until my next shoot. I'm definitely going to take this microwave off my back and have a bit of a rest before we start shooting. So let's go. So I'm just killing a few minutes before I go to the shoot. Now, as you can see here, my backpack, it's dense, 15 kilos worth. Now, the question, traveling with film, do you put it through the scanner or not? What is it for me? It's mixed. If I'm traveling domestically from Melbourne to Sydney and I have 400 ISO film, I'll put it through both ways. Why? Because normally at peak hour travel, you haven't got time to fumble around, get it out. There's people lining up. They want to get on their flight. I want to get on my flight. So I just go through. It's not going to hurt the film. I'm serious. It's not going to hurt the film. Now, there will be a little bit of a difference, but through a lab scan, you will not notice the difference. I'll put a link down below of a photographer who took a bunch of film through a CT and an X-ray scanner, and you can see the results. And after a scan, you won't even notice it. Now, if it's 800 ISO film, for me personally, especially if I'm traveling internationally, I will get a hand checked. Usually internationally, you've got a little bit more time, so I don't mind. I can get a hand checked, I can plan ahead. But a domestic trip up and back to Sydney goes through the CT scanner. What I didn't mention is on the fly, I decided to push Mr. Negative, same but different. So instead of shooting at 400, I shot it at 200. I've never seen the results of this film at 200, so it's interesting to see its looks. So let's check it out here as well. Well, that is a wrap for Sydney. Just about to leave the lounge and head through the gate. So please let me know what more content you wish to see. Hopefully the photos turned out. I'll put them up here on the screen, but obviously I haven't seen them yet while recording this. You know, something creative. There'll be more kind of content of this coming, hopefully, and some more camera challenges and everything else. But until then, stay classy, and I'll see you later.